Welcome back to Two Therapists Walk Into a Podcast. I'm Stephanie Edsall, LCSW, here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
And I'm Robin Green, an LCSW here in Tucson, Arizona. And in the last episode, we explored authority and obedience and how repeated self-override can slowly erode our sense of self. This episode stays with that terrain and turns towards something a little quieter. When authority consistently lives outside the body, that inner knowing can begin to feel uncertain.
For many people, intuition wasn't treated as information. It was interpreted, corrected, sometimes warned against, almost as if it was a threat.
So today we're exploring what happens when inner signals are repeatedly reframed as something untrustworthy, and why doubting your instincts can feel like second nature rather than a conscious choice. And as always, this is education, not therapy. So please take what is useful, leave what isn't, and move at a pace that feels supportive for you. Before we go any further, let's pause. And rather than asking yourself to trust, decide, or interpret anything, see if you can simply arrive. You might start by noticing where your body is making contact. Your feet on the floor, your back against the chair, or the weight of your hands. And notice sensation without interpretation, allowing it to be just sensation. Maybe pressure, temperature, movement, or neutrality. There's no need to label what you notice as meaningful or correct. You're not listening for anything in particular, just letting sensation exist exactly as it is. And if your mind wants to analyze or explain, that's okay. You can gently return to sensation. This kind of noticing doesn't ask you to trust yourself. It simply creates a space for contact. And right now, that's enough. Many people learned early that internal signals needed supervision. A pause might have been questioned, a strong feeling redirected, a sense of knowing treated as something that required correction, often through messages like, that's just fear, or don't trust that feeling.
This didn't happen through punishment, remember, but through reinterpretation. Signals were explained away, softened, or reframed until the original message was lost.
Instead of asking, what am I sensing? Attention shifts towards what response is expected of me here. And that shift marks the moment adaptation begins. So it doesn't erase intuition.
No, in fact, it teaches the body to keep it quiet. And I like how you got to talk about that. What am I sensing versus what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to react or respond? It's very, very important to differentiate those. When internal signals are consistently sidelined, uncertainty grows. People may notice hesitation around decisions, even small ones, whatever that might look like. And it forms a habit. of checking externally.
Right. A feeling of needing permission before acting, not because something is missing, but because that self-reference was really discouraged. And so you have to kind of rely on others more than you'd like to for your own internal awareness.
Here's today's nervous system nugget. Intuition is a survival sense, not a spiritual flaw.
Intuition reflects how the nervous system integrates sensation, memory, and lived experience. It helps us sense fit, risk, and timing. And when those signals were repeatedly reframed or overridden, doubt served a protective role.
One way to begin reconnecting with intuition is by working with simple yes and no cues, not as decisions, as sensations.
You might notice what feels slightly expansive or slightly constricted. And the important thing is no interpretation is required. If it feels inconsistent or unclear, that's expected.
Over time, this teaches the nervous system that noticing does not automatically lead to consequence. Here's a reflection you might sit with. Where do I notice myself pausing or dismissing an internal signal? And what changes if I allow that signal to exist without judgment?
If intuition feels faint or inconsistent, that doesn't mean it's absent. It may mean that you learn to stay quiet in order to maintain safety.
Relearning how to listen doesn't require certainty or urgency. And I feel like that is going to be part of the battle is slowing down, teaching your nervous system that it's okay to slow down. And the urgency culture that we live in is going to not reinforce that. So be brave and do it anyway. And please remember, healing isn't linear, and we're here for the ride.
Thank you for listening today. Take what was helpful, set down what wasn't, and give yourself a little space to land as the episode comes to a close. More grounded conversations, science, and practical nervous system tools are on the way next week. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not provide medical or mental health advice, and does not create any kind of therapeutic relationship. For personalized support, please reach out to a licensed mental health professional in your area or contact your local crisis resources if you're in immediate need.